Hello everyone, we are working on day 3 of our notes. This is inequalities in one triangle. We've been working on triangles quite often, so today's a little bit of review and we'll just kind of see how it goes. Not too crazy, just looking at relationships between different sides. So I have the smallest angle and across the way will be the smallest side, because think about a mouth, right? Okay, like think of an alligator. The bigger the mouth is open, the bigger this side is. All right, so that's our idea. And then the same goes with the largest angle. The largest angle is opposite from the largest side. So we're actually going to write that for this next part. Okay, so the smallest angle is opposite the smallest side. So this one right here, across the way. Okay? And then it goes for the largest also. So the largest angle, and then it could be vice versa. We could also say the smallest side is opposite the smallest angle. So we could go vice versa on this. So then I could say side here's the side, and the opposite of that is the smallest angle. These look pretty close to being similar, so I believe that would be the smallest side. Okay, so again, I just changed the order, so it's just a vice versa situation. Side and angle go together. All right, name the shortest and longest sides of a triangle. Please remember and make a note of this, that all triangles add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so what is the shortest side? Okay, well, L, that's the shortest angle, so across the way is KM. So KM is the shortest side. Now, how do we figure out what the longest side is? Well, I would have to do 36 and 48. I'm going to subtract that from 180. Okay, so find the sum of those two and add them together, which is 84, and then subtract that from 180, and you get 96. So M is 96 degrees. It looks close to a 90-degree angle, which it pretty much is, but it's 96, a little bit bigger. So then I have LK. So LK is the longest side. All right. Same idea for A, so we have to figure out what the third angle is worth. Well, the third angle is worth 49 degrees. Again, what can you do? You can say, okay, so angle Y plus 63 plus 68 equals 180, if you want to write an equation. And then combine like terms, 63 and 68 is 131. And then subtract that to both sides, and Y equals 49 degrees. Okay, so now I figured out that the shortest side is, the shortest angle is 49. So what is across the way from that? Well, that would be MN. So the shortest side is MN. The largest side, well, what's across from 68? Well, that would be MO. Okay, let me highlight so then you can see what I'm talking about. So again, this is the angle. So what's across the way? This side. So because it's the biggest angle, it makes the biggest mouth. So that's why that side's the biggest. So how do I label it? So I say the shortest and the longest. Let's do a different color other than yellow. That's cool. All right, the next one, name the smallest and largest angles of the triangle. Okay, so same idea, but now we're going the opposite. So what is the shortest side? The opposite of that is angle G. So the shortest angle is angle G. Okay, the longest angle, well, let's see here. So we have 12. So what is across the way from 12? That would be angle F. All right, same song and dance. Smallest side is 3. Therefore, the shortest angle is angle H. The biggest side is 6. What's across the way? So the largest one is angle J. Largest, longest, largest. Largest is angle J. Smallest is angle H. Okay. All right. So list all angles and sides in ascending order. Ascending order going up. Okay. So if that's 45 and that's 90, therefore that has to be 45 degrees also to make 180 degrees. So there's actually two that are the smallest and then the biggest. So this one's kind of a pickle. So 45 and 45, they're both worth the same amount. So angle M and angle P, and then angle N would be in ascending order. So smallest to biggest. Okay, and then the same with the side. So 45, what's across the way? MN, and NP are worth the same amount. And then what would be the longest side? Well, what's across from N? That is MP. Okay, remember angles, you want to put the little line in front. Sides, you want to put the line above it. So angles, you want to kind of put this inequality sign or the mouth of the angle. And then sides, again, you want to put something above the two letters. So then you know that it's a side. All right, hopefully this one's not as confusing. Well, we first have to figure it out. So we have to add up all the x's. So 3 plus 5 plus 2. We have to add those up, my darlings. So I have 10x. Because I have to figure out what these angles are worth. I have no idea. 2, 2, and 26. I can kind of guess, but that won't be good to guess. So 26 plus 2 is 30. And that equals 180. So therefore, what does x equal? Well, x equals 15, and then I'd have to plug it back in. So I'm going to plug 15 back into each one. So 3 times 15 plus 2, 5 times 15 plus 2, 2 times 15 plus 26. Okay, all right, so angle A is worth 47 degrees. Angle C is worth 77. And angle B is worth 56. So now that I figured out which one is the smallest and which one's the biggest, I'm going to put it in ascending order. Okay, so I'm going to kind of clean up this area, or maybe I'll just write it down here. That works. Okay, so let's put our angles. We got to put our chompers in front. So angle A is the smallest, then angle B, and then angle C. So therefore, what's across from A? Well, that's BC. And then what is across from B? Well, that would be AC. And then for across from C would be AB. Feel free with your sides to kind of switch the order. This could be CB, this could be CA, and this could be BA. Just because you can, again, switch the order of how you write it, just as long as you have the correct sides. So again, if I have angle A, I want to look across the way to find out what side goes with it. All right, triangle inequality theorem. So I'm going to label these just so it makes sense because it can be kind of confusing. So I'm going to just label this small. Is that the smallest side? Ooh. Small, medium, and large. Okay, we're just going to write the inequality and be right back. All right, smallest side must be larger than the difference of the other two sides. So smaller side, so S has to be bigger than L minus M. Okay, S has to be bigger than the other two subtracted. Another way to approach it, and this way is the way I kind of see it, is the larger side has to be smaller than the sum of the other two sides. So S plus M. Okay, so the small and the medium sides have to be bigger than the larger side. Okay, it's kind of, again, it's just how you approach it. Okay, so looking at those two, and we will figure out if these are triangles or not. So we're proving whether it's a triangle or not. Again, sides of so if you have certain sides and they don't match up, okay, it won't make a triangle. So it's all about the dimensions of your triangle. So all I'm going to be given is numbers, okay? So I have 8, 15, and 17. I'm going to do it two different ways so then you can see it. So what is the smallest side? So that's 8. And that has to be bigger than 17 minus 15. So I have small, medium, and large, okay? So these two have to be smaller when subtracted from 8. So is 8 greater than 2? Yes. So you could prove it that way. Another way, which I kind of see, is what is the largest side? 17. And that has to be less than 8 plus 15 together. Okay? And 8 plus 15 is greater than 17. Bada bing. So that's 23. Okay. You can also write it in a different way if it's helpful. All right. So one method, again, what is the smallest side? Well, the smallest side is 6, and then I have to subtract 14 minus 8, because again, I have small, medium, and large. Okay, so is 6 greater than 6? Well, that is niet. Okay, they cannot be equal. Okay, another way to do it, well, small and medium added together has to be greater than the largest side. So is 14 greater than 14? No, so not a triangle. When the first one was yes. So you can prove it either way. All right, so try out try out the next two and see what you got. Ooh, small and medium. Well, those are both small, and this is the large one. So we'd have to see if this works. Okay, so 1 has to be greater than 2 minus 1, which doesn't work because 1 cannot be greater than 1, so that is a no. Okay, so C does not work. All right, what if they're all the same size? Well, is 5 greater than 5 minus 5? Well, yes, 5 is greater than 0, so that works. Okay, and then again, they're all the same, so it doesn't really matter which one's small and which one's medium. Or you could say, is 5 plus 5 greater than 5? Well, yeah, 10 is greater than 5. So yes, this works. This is an equilateral triangle. So all the sides can be the same. Again, all right, so small plus medium has to be greater than large, or the small has to be greater than L minus M. All that happened is I subtracted M to both sides. So either one of these formulas works just fine. All right, so find the possible measurements. So when you're finding the possible measurements, there's so many ways you could do this, okay? So instead of doing all the different ways, I'm just going to do one way. So if you add these together, so 2 plus 3 is going to be 5, okay? So when I add them together, your number has to be bigger than 5, okay? And then what you're going to do is subtract them. And then your number, so 3 minus 2 is also going to be 1. So your possible measurements are between 1 and 5. So you're going to add the numbers together, and then you're going to subtract the numbers together to get your range of numbers, okay? So it's like figuring out what you need to get on a test, right? Like I need to get from this score to this score. That's my range. You're doing the same thing here. So you're trying to find what could be the smallest side of your triangle. You could also find the largest side depending on how you look at it. So 8 plus 10 is 18, and then subtract those, and then you get 2. So your range is 2 to 18. All right, try the last one. All right, the last one would be 4 to 18. All right, so again, subtracting them, you get 3. Adding them, you get 27. Okay? So triangle inequality theorem, talking about the relationship between the angle to the opposite sides, and then also telling us how do you make a triangle, okay? Triangles add up to 180 as angles. And then how do you make a triangle? Well, again, the largest side has to be less than S plus M, or again, you could subtract it, and L minus N has to be less than S. So again, writing it in two different ways. Thanks so much for joining me today on day 3. Hope you have a great day, Huskies.